Here in Washington tonight on the eve of the president's address to this joint session of Congress tomorrow night. He will likely explain his tariffs to the American people in prime time. But already tonight, the stock market plunging more than 600 points on the news that the president says he will impose his 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico at midnight tonight. Tariffs on China as well. Economists now warn that those tariffs are paid by American businesses on products coming into this country, and then those costs are passed on to American consumers. And tonight, what legendary investor Warren Buffett is now saying. Here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, the Dow tumbling 600 points on President Trump's announcement that he's moving forward with sweeping new tariffs against Canada and Mexico at the stroke of midnight. Trump saying there's nothing they can do to change his mind.
No room left for Mexico or for Canada. No, the tariffs, they're all set.
Trump adding a 25% tax on all goods coming across the border from Mexico and Canada, and an additional 10% on Chinese products. Economists point out the cost will be paid by American businesses, who will pass it on to consumers by raising prices. By one estimate, the average household will spend up to $2,000 more a year on everything from produce to clothes to electronics. The cost of a new car could spike $3,000. The CEO of Ford warning long-term a 25% tariff across the Mexico and Canada borders would blow a hole in the U.S. industry that we've never seen. Trump undeterred.
So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States.
But legendary investor Warren Buffett calling tariffs essentially an act of war.
I mean, tariffs are actually, we've had a lot of experience with them. They're an act of war to some degree.
And tonight, Mexico and Canada already vowing to retaliate by slapping taxes on American goods.
We will have a strong, unequivocal, and proportional response as Canadians expect.
Already the anger is palpable. Canadians booing the Star-Spangled Banner when the LA Galaxy soccer team played the Vancouver Whitecaps overnight. And when Trump first threatened tariffs, Canadian liquor stores took American whiskey off the shelves. Trump insists his tariffs are meant to pressure Mexico and Canada to stop the flow of deadly drugs and migrants coming into the country. But less than 1% of the fentanyl seized coming into the U.S. last year came across the Canadian border. Over the last month, both countries trying to negotiate. Canada appointing a fentanyl czar, Mexico surging 10,000 troops to the border and sending back criminals wanted in the U.S. But Trump tonight says it isn't enough and seemed to expand his reasons for imposing these tariffs in the first place.
They can't come in and steal our money and steal our jobs and take our factories and take our businesses and expect not to be punished. And they're being punished by tariffs.
And you can be sure we'll be hearing more about these tariffs tomorrow night when the president delivers his first address before a joint session of Congress since returning to the White House. But there are real concerns that these tariffs could drive up prices just as inflation is also rising, something the president promised to address on day one. All eyes now on how he tackles these economic issues tomorrow night. David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House. Mary, thank you. And of course, Mary and our entire political team will be right here tomorrow night, the presidential address to the nation and a joint session of Congress tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC.